In this video tutorial, we are going to demonstrate how to sync multiple groups to multiple Outlook Exchange folders. Assume we have a database, a contacts database. It could be a single user or a multi-user database. In this database, we have a sales group, we have a Chris Huffman book group, we have a tech support group, we have a Western sales group. We have 4 groups in total, and we want to sync these groups to separate individual Outlook folders. So how do we do that? And in this demonstration, we'll show you how to do it. First of all the groups can be static or dynamic or a combination on both, which is a part of the group definition in ACT. The group members have to be accessible by the logged in user. I.e., if you logged in as Chris Huffman, you need to have permissions to access number 1, the group, number 2, to be able to read the contact information. The groups also must exist in the database that we open. If we create groups in the synchronizer, we will not see those. Also, this capability is only available with the server license of 123 Synchronizer 2011 or beyond. So let's look at ACT and see what we have. Here looking at the groups in ACT, we have Chris Huffman that has a selection of contacts. We also have sales that have their own selection, tech support, as well as Western sales. So all these groups exist in ACT. Also, let's look at the users. On the users, we can see here there's only one active user, and that user is Chris Huffman. This is equivalent of having a one user ACT database. So you don't need to have more than one user to use this capability. So single user ACT database with multiple groups. So let's see where we're going to put all this data. So let's go back to the synchronizer. Opening the contacts database, we see that we only have one active user, which is Chris Huffman. So let's select where we want to put his data. So we select the contacts. We'll select the calendar for Chris Huffman. And then we select the tasks, Chris Huffman tasks. We also go to the contacts filter and we say we don't want to process all the contacts. We actually want to process a group. And we select the group. And this group is the Chris Huffman group because we set up that group in ACT. So now we're synchronizing this data over to the Outlook folders. But now we have 3 other groups that we need to synchronize. And how do we do that? We go to Tools, Admin, and we create a custom user. Let's call him Sales. Admin, custom user. The other one is Western sales. And our third one is tech support. So now we can see that all the custom users are in bold letters, while the standard users are in standard letters. When a custom user is created, by default, we put the custom username in there. But in our case, we don't want that. We want it to log in as Chris Huffman because that is the only user that we have. So we enter the username. We test it. And it can test. And we do the same thing as the others. So what you really want is to have the login as the custom user when he logs in, that the login is correct. Otherwise, the login is going to fail and nothing's going to happen. 1, 2, 3. So now we have 3 custom users that have identical logins as Chris Huffman. Now we assign the Outlook folders to each custom user. So we go to the contacts We want the contacts to go on the sales folders. So we just select that, calendar, tasks, and we do the same thing for the other users. Contacts, tech support, calendar, tech support, tasks. So this is where we want to put the data. Contacts there, calendar, and tasks. So to finalize, we now have to set the appropriate filters. So for sales, we're gonna get the sales filter, which is the sales group. So we already have that set. Now for tech support, we do the group and we select tech support, which is the tech support group. From Western sales, we select group, Western sales. So now we've matched the groups to the custom users. Now we enable these custom users to be executed, so when we do the process all, it will choose all the custom users. See here, all these users that are enabled are taken into consideration for processing. Otherwise, if I have them disabled, when you do synchronize, it will only pick up the ones that are enabled. So we're ready to go now. So for a manual synchronization, we just click on synchronize, process users, and it will process all the users from ACT over to Outlook, which is ACT is the dominant database in this case. So we're putting history and notes and appointments into Outlook now. To summarize what we've just done, we set up one standard user and 3 custom users in just about 7 minutes, including the mapping of all the Outlook folders. When we set a custom user and when they're created, the following has to be set for each user: the ACT login and password, the Outlook folder set. You have to select the contacts, calendar, and then the tasks, and which contact filter you want to use, whether you want group or you want to process all, anything like that. In addition, by default, all the synchronization options are enabled for the custom users. So if you want to disable any of those options, you have to go on the synchronization setting and disable them.